Well, I've had an interesting day today. Woke up early to go to my probation meeting, but it's not till tomorrow. I guess I turned the page on my calendar and wasn't paying attention close enough because I wrote down on my calendar a date, then the probation officer called me last week changing it. I thought he said today. And I looked at my calendar last night and I misread my calendar. I turned the page for a new month and March 1st is Tuesday, and so I was kind of screwed up and was thinking I was going the second day of the week, and so I went today instead of tomorrow because tomorrow's the second day of the week on the calendar. I just didn't look close enough, so I gotta go back tomorrow. Oh well. So I got a call on my Skype phone about some girl named Amanda who's interested in renting a room. She told me her telephone number was 216 area code, but it was 316 area code on the caller ID. I called it back, left a message. Sounded like a little girl. And then I went to the casino once a month. Well, I was winning to lose at casino. I was playing this one game where the guy, where you can win 30 or 40 to 1, 3-card poker, 6 to 1. I said I've never won 30 or 40 to 1. And there was a guy sitting there. I looked at him. I thought I'd seen him there playing 3-card poker all the time. Every time I go there, I said, and he was saying something to me about, didn't you say something about Hewlett Packard in here before? And I said, well, I don't know, maybe. He said, you said they didn't hire you? I said, yeah, I don't know. I never did get hired by them. And the story with me and Hewlett Packard, you know, the only face-to-face contact I had with the so-called representative of Hewlett Packard was at Purdue Cranert when they did call me up politely when I went to Purdue and asked me if I'd like to interview with them for a job over dinner in a restaurant. And I went to a nice enough restaurant, ate dinner. They told me at the before the dinner in the placement center that the Hewlett Packard way is to wear jeans and T-shirts, not nice clothes. Well, my way's, to me that just automatically makes the people idiots. But if I'm going to go to a decent restaurant, I'm going to represent myself, not the Hewlett Packard way or any other way. I'm going to do what I think. I'm not going to wear jeans and a T-shirt to a nice restaurant. I think I wore a tie and sport coat, but if the Hewlett Packard way is to wear jeans and, baseball caps and T-shirts, well, you see, I'm about money. And I think the guy who was there interviewing people or something was a Cranert graduate and had been a plumber. Like I said, some of the Cranert graduates at graduate school probably couldn't get engineering degrees. Well, I didn't get hired by Hewlett Packard, and I don't think I ever got a call back or anything. And I think I wore a sport coat and tie if that's not the Hewlett Packard. Well, you know what? I don't really, I work for money and I'm about money. As I told this guy at the casino, no, I never got hired by Hewlett Packard. I may have applied several times since there, seeing old Carly Fioroni on there getting her $100 million, what she got, as the CEO of Hewlett Packard, some girl who probably didn't have an engineering degree. And, all my personal experience, since Cranert and, before Cranert, my experience made me quite skeptical and, so everything was bullshit. But I just sat there and went to college, the American thing to do, got my degrees. And, I've never been paid as an employee of Hewlett Packard. Obviously, Hewlett Packard has been one of the top technology, innovation, computer, scientific companies in the history of the world. From that standpoint, but all the bullshit about the Hewlett Packard way, wearing jeans and T-shirts. Well, I work for money, and I was telling this guy at the poker table, no, I've never, no, Hewlett Packard never hired me. And I work for money, maximize stock owner value. And the guy goes, yeah. He has a baseball cap on or something. I said, well, stock owners own the company, maximize stock owner value. And I owned everything almost in Kansas City before I went to college, and that's one of the reasons I went to college, because owning the company doesn't mean you get a paycheck. And I don't work for free. Maximize stock owner value. I don't work for free. Paycheck precedence. I was making precedence of paycheck 30 to 41 on this 3-card poker because I've only done 6 to 1. It's the best I've ever done. I've never won 30 or 40 to 1. I said, let's get some precedent in the paycheck here, and whether I own the place or not, I don't work for free. Maximize stock owner value. And that's one of the reasons I went to college, everybody, because I owned almost everything, and it didn't matter before I went to college. That's one of the reasons I went, and that's one of the reasons I say what I thought was bullshit. And I don't work for free, maximize stock owner value. Paycheck precedence, business license precedence. No, I've never been hired or an employee with a paycheck cleared and settled at Hewlett Packard, and I don't work for free. And yes, Hewlett Packard is probably one of the top, innovative scientific companies in the history of the world. No doubt about it. They want to hire me now and give me a mark-rated paycheck, I'll take it. I ain't going to beg for nothing. I'd rather be on food stamps and welfare than beg for a job. And I will buy 1 share as a token on the place, if anything, if it's possible. If I can push a button on my Scottrade account on my computer on the Scottrade account on the internet and buy 1 share, I'll do it. Any company it is, just as a token, own it. And then we'll talk about minority owners versus majority owners. And if there's no majority owner, 51% or more, everybody's a minority owner. So what's your point? And I don't work for free. You know what? Yeah. But then on my way home, I went to this Homer's coffee shop, and I went to this bar, Blue Moose, watched the end of the Purdue game and Oklahoma State game. Both my schools won basketball. A couple of young kids mouthing off in there like they know who I am or something. Who gives a shit? And then I was joking around the bartender saying, well, if one of my teams win, I get a free dinner. If both of them win, I get $100 cash back. She goes, well, I don't have that kind of money. I said, well, who's the landlord around here? Highwoods? They still the landlord? We can get the board of directors to authorize $1 billion cash back. So I got this new joke. Who could not pass the first semester of engineering at Oklahoma State? Just about everybody on the planet couldn't pass the first semester of Oklahoma State's engineering, Highwoods board, or whatever. Let's go back to Merrill Lynch, private property, J.C. Nichols, Highwood. Punks. Yeah, and J.C. Nichols. I think their corporate office said I couldn't go in there either on the plaza, could they? Yeah. And I've heard all kinds of mafia murder stories about all these people, Nichols people. I don't really know, I don't know them personally. And if I have met some personally, maybe they are. Maybe I have met people who pretend to be people, and I don't know about it. And then, of course, my mom was saying I was rude to somebody. This friend of my dad's, realtor, mechanical engineer, Beta Theta Pi, my dad's age. I've heard his wife say I was rude to him. My mom say I was rude to him. He says all kinds of things like this guy knows something. What's he know? I asked him what his resume was. He wouldn't reply. My dad said he's had people who look like and pretend to be him to meet me because he, whatever. And I said, well, I was like sending an email saying, well, you have zero credibility. If I was ever rude to you, I've listened to some of your comments like, it's my dad's money. He can do whatever he wants to when he spends money to put me in a mental hospital. Well, actually, it's trust money of mine. He controlled it. It's like, see, he said all kinds of stupid things like stock ownership isn't right, wrestling's right. He said all kinds of things. I said, well, you have zero credibility, whoever you are. You've misrepresented yourself to me, and I don't put up with bullshit from punks. So, if you people, they're all just a bunch of lunatic, lying, fucking gossip, busybody punks as far as I'm concerned. And of course, bottom line is, I'm a billionaire. Well, then I went to the, when I came home, I noticed I got a 316 number on my caller ID to my home number. A couple of the numbers are different than the 316 number, Skype number. This girl Amanda called me to rent a room. It's almost the same number, but it's got 1 or 2 digits off. And this 316 is something about the police something. 316. See, this Amanda girl wants to rent a room saying her number's 216 on the voicemail, but the caller ID says 316 on the, and then my caller ID at home has it shows up 316, almost the exact same digits as this Amanda. And I was in Homer's coffee shop. There's this young girl with black fingernail polish walks in. Pretty young girl talking to this guy. She says her name's Amanda, and they're looking at me saying, this girl's looking at me saying something or whatever. Of course, Amanda's this girl who called me from 316 saying it's 216. Now I got this other call at 522 from 316. It's, like 1 digit off the renter number. I know it seems kind of weird to me and stupid, but you know what? Credibility. Money's the bottom line, isn't it? Money cleared and settled in your pocket. I went to the casino. I was losing. Went and got down $100 from the ATM, started winning. I quit. I took $170 investment and turned it into $305 or $310. So I made over $100 profit in a couple of hours. Came home. 9:45. I gotta wake up early for probation at 8:30. That means I have to wake up at 7 o'clock. So that's all for now. Hasta la vista, baby.